afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another book talk with Cindy here at Eight Letters Books and Publishing. This is held every Saturday, from 4 p.m. onwards. And we took a little break last weekend, so that explains why we were not able to go live. Also, with a few weeks away from Christmas, medyo parami na parami yung mga natatanggap nating orders. So kung gusto nyong mag-order ng ipangre-regalo nyo, make sure to go to our website, to go on to Shopee. Wag na tayo maghintay ng very, very last minute para mamili ng gifts because I'm sure magkakaroon ng issues yung courier, magkakaroon ng delay. So, you know what? This will be make this is your warning na kailangan nyo nang pumunta sa aming Shopee link, sa aming website to get your book orders now. And also make sure that you get the confirmation once na nakapagbayad na kayo. So, ayun, aside from the book orders that we've been receiving, medyo marami rin tayong events na ina-attenan. So, isa na dyan yung Christmas party kahapon ng the Indie Publishers Collab PH. Thank you very much for hosting that. That was held at Comuna bookstore. So thank you very much, the Indie Publishers Collab PH. And today, nandyan din tayo sa BLTX sa Tomas Morato. Ayan, so nandyan din yung a few collections of our books. Ayan. At also, another announcement that I want to make is the NaNoWriMo or the National Novella, that is the 8 letters version, the National Novella Writing Month. Kakatapos lang, well, actually today yung deadline ng submission and marami na kaming natanggap. And for the next few weeks, we'll be spending our time reading all of them and evaluating them and checking kung alin ba doon yung publishable. Okay, because we are looking for the freshest stories out there. All right. So, of course, our agenda for today, as you can see here on our caption below, we'll have a back-to-back book launch with Herbel Santiago. This isn't the first nor the second book that she have with us with 8 letters kasi nandiyan na rin yung Alona, I've met Herbel online many years ago, and I still remember the first book that she had with us. And then also nandyan din yung pangalawa niyang book. So ngayon yung pangatlo, pang-apat na book niya yung ila-launch natin. So the titles of these books are Calmness and also yung Fragments and Narrative. So without further ado, I would like to invite Herbel on stage. Herbel, okay, medyo wait lang. Nagkakaroon ng technical issues. Herbel. Okay.
Hi! Hello, live na ba ako? Hi,
Ayan, live ka
Cindy,
na.
hello. Malapit na
Welcome
Christmas.
back.
Advance Merry Christmas. Hello.
Merry Christmas, Herbel. And ayun, thank you very much once again for entrusting 8 letters with your 2 books, Calmness and Fragments and Narratives. So, if I'm not mistaken, medyo kapareho to no, nung muli ako magsisimula. Kapareho ng format. Can you tell us why the sudden change of formatting? Kasi parang dati you were focusing on like children's books, medyo makulay pa, but this time around, medyo minimalist na yung dating.
So, siguro kung gagamitin natin yung marketing branding eme-eme, siguro nag-focus na, siguro ngayon, nahanap ko na rin kung ano talaga yung brand, yung kulay na parang, kumbaga, matatawag ko na magiging brand ko, na magiging tatak ko. So before kasi, when I was writing Alona's Quest for the Golden Tree, ang goal talaga nun is longevity talaga siya. Alam ko na hindi siya yung tipong pangmadalian, talagang tatrabahuin siya pangmatagalan. And I always say na kapag nagsasalita ako tungkol sa Alona, na it is something that will transcend me. So that one is something I've written also when I was a bit younger. Ito yung mga latest creations ko, parang it grows with me. parang nire-reflect na nila kung ano ako at a certain time right now. I'm in my mid-30s, parang nasa nasa punto na
Maturity
ng
level.
buhay, maturity level, teka lang, yung aking buhok ay nagre-rebelde. Wait,
No problem.
kumbaga yung kulay niya is parang nagre-reflect nung pagiging kalmado ko na.
Mhm.
Parang nahanap ko na rin yung pagiging kalmado. So, parang ngayon alam ko na kung ano yung gusto ko. Gusto ko ng something stable, gusto ko ng something minimalistic, gusto ko yung something na mag-iiwan sa mga mambabasa ng, 'Pag binasa ko 'to, 'pag nakita ko 'to, merong kalma na maiiwan sa'kin.' Yun yung
Mhm.
gift na gusto kong ibigay sa mga mambabasa this time around. I want to give them the gift of calm, the gift of finding solace in their
Mhm.
fragmented realities, in their brokenness,
Mhm.
finding peace. Yun na yung gusto ko kasi, sa panahon natin na sobrang dami ng kaguluhan, so many chaotic things happening, sobrang dami ng stress, right?
Mhm.
Sobrang dami ng kailangang ibalanse. It is such a gift pala to find calmness. It is such a gift to find peace. And if there's something that I want my readers to see, sa itsura pa lang, gusto ko na
Mhm.
kapagka nakita nila 'to, ay, ah, ang mahanap ko rito sa librong ito ay kalma, kapayapaan. So,
That's
my
very
designs,
nice. No.
yeah, reflected my maturity level as a person and as a writer.
That's very nice, Herbel. I can really see, sa maturity level na sinasabi mo, I can really see growth from where you were, when you started, yung
Mhm,
Alona, and then up to where you are at right now. Um, and kitang-kita ko yon dito sa tatlong libro na nilabas mo. Muli ako magsisimula, Calmness, Fragments, and Narratives. Um, nakikita ko doon yung um, yun nga, yung sinasabi mong maturity level, yung calmness and yung tipo na, yung gusto mong iparating talaga sa tao na, if I pick up this book, alam ko na kung ano yung mababasa ko, parang hindi na ako, you're right about the chaotic things happening around us. Parang gusto mo na lang na, um, find solace somewhere, and I feel that your books can give that. Herbel, ipapakita ko lang sa audience natin what the second book looks like. So this is what it looks like. Calmness, How to Create Your Calm Amidst Chaos. So let's talk about this book first. This was released a few months ago. And uh, why this topic? Um, why did you suddenly think about, oh, this is the topic that I can definitely tell people about?
this one is actually, it's a product of 8 letters writing challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Pero sobrang hindi siya it was I started writing this January. This is
Mhm.
part of your January writing challenge sa beginning ng taon ng 2023.
Mm-mm.
Parang you have this 31 letters writing challenge to write one entry per
Mm-mm.
day nung
Mm-mm.
January. So sinimulan ko siya. Pero syempre, naging busy ang mundo. So, hindi ko siya natapos. It was supposed to be just, once a day na nagsusulat ako. But then it took me 7 months.
Mm.
7 months bago ko mabuo yung libro. So, ito talaga, of the two books, ito yung pinaka-latest. Kasi when I was writing this, I was writing it, ano bang tawag doon? I'm writing it on the day. Like, I'm reflecting the experiences of the everyday events nung
Mhm.
sinusulat ko to siya. So, um, minsan minsan may mga big event within that day, and
Mhm.
so I was able to capture that. The thing is din kasi, I am an OFW, so
Mm.
I am not in the Philippines right now. Actually, it's 2 o'clock 2 o'clock,
Oh.
2:21 here. So you see the time difference. I'm actually in Bangladesh, and I'm teaching. I'm still here.
Mm.
So Cindy, my students would like to say thank you, and they remember you. They do
I
remember you.
remember.
They wanted
I
to
remember them.
yeah, they wanted to talk to you, and they wanted to say thank you. You inspired them so much. But anyway, I'm actually not in the Philippines right now. I'm in Bangladesh, and I'm still like going through a lot of things. Uh, the book reflects the probably the emotional journey, because it's a different experience actually to live behind your family. Paano ba ano ba yung mga naramdaman ko nung mga panahon na yon? Ano ba yung mga naramdaman ng pamilya ko while we go through the process of separation? I even have an entry there talking about what it means to live in a different country. They have a different faith and I practice a different faith. Of course, here, this is also a different community, so ibang komunidad ito, at kinailangan kong maging bahagi ng komunidad, kinailangan kong mag-adjust. Of course, yung adjustment hindi lang to physical na adjustment, may emotional na adjustment, may mga nagaganap sa akin dito na minsan hindi ko alam kung paano kasi malayo ako sa mga kaibigan ko. The only way I could talk to them is through online. So parang ang libro na 'to is a way for me, naging therapeutic siya para sa akin talaga. Kasi ito yung paraan ko para masulat kung ano yung mga nararamdaman ko, para maisa-konkreto ba yung mga komplikadong mga emosyon na nararamdaman ko. Because it's not that easy, and I will tell you that you know the experience of being an OFW. It's so
Oo naman.
difficult. The journey is, uh, paano ba? It's not something I would it's something paano ko ba sasabihin? It's difficult, but I also like that I'm experiencing this. Maybe not to an extent na masasaktan ako, but like para sa akin, maganda, kumbaga rich yung experience ng isang OFW para makalikha ng mga akda. Kasi ang daming layers at nuances ng emotions na nararanasan natin. Yung homesickness na nararamdaman natin, yung emotions na nararamdaman natin, iba pala siya. May layer pala siya. May layer ng emotion. And it's not always a bad thing, ha? Lalo na sa atin ng mga writers. Nagiging ano siya, nagiging piyesta pala siya para sa mga librong sinusulat natin. So itong calmness na 'to para siyang naging diary, naging, journal, pero habang sinusulat ko siya na-realize ko na, um, itong mga 'to na mga sinusulat ko kasi bawat isang entry dito meron akong tip kung paano ko ni-regulate yung sarili ko, yung emotions ko. Because, um, since nga wala naman akong ibang, maaasahan, well, meron naman, may support system naman dito and it's a safe space. Pero gusto ko pa rin kasi na ako mismo ay kaya kong emotionally regulate yung sarili ko. So, habang nagjo-journal ako, at the end, every entry, parang merong mga konkretong mga tips kung paano mare-regulate ng mga mambabasa yung sarili nila. So, for example, if you could allow me, I'll read some
Sure.
examples.
Sige, sige.
Like, for example, uh, at the end, pwede tayong at the end ilalagay ko rito yung this one is my favorite, just recently binasa ko 'to in a vlog. For example, I have this: trust that what's for you will be given for you. The trust that what's for you will be given to you. Identify which ones are within your control. Give it your all. But also recognize that there are larger forces at work in the universe. These are beyond your control. You can choose to listen to the universe. If everything goes wrong and it is not worth it, it is not for you. You can move on. Go somewhere else. So here sa calmness, very clear na ang kinakausap ko is ang sarili ko, first and foremost. But also direkta kong kinakausap yung mga mambabasa na ah, kapag kayo ay nakararanas ng kaparehong nararanasan ko, here's how I deal with it. Here's how I regulate my emotions. And if it works for you, hopefully it works for you. Please pick the entries, pick the advices, and apply it to yourself so you could also, create your own calm amidst chaos. So that's what calmness is.
Yes, thank you, Herbal. Nung binabasa mo yun, feeling ko, para din sa akin yun. Kasi meron din ako mga bagay na hinihintay. Tapos, hindi pa siya dumarating. But, I know na parating siya, but I feel like I'm being impatient. Dapat ang tagal-tagal naman ito, ganyan.
Oo.
But, 13th month. Hindi. Yung,
Pero yun nga, Cindy, on one
mm,
hand, merong radical acceptance, no? Kasi
mm,
nga, gano'n naman talaga ang mundo, no? Hindi naman laging
mm,
automatic. Pero meron ding second perspective. At the end, no? I said one track is you can move on. The other is, but if it moves forward, maybe even despite the initial difficulties, believe that it is still for you. Trust that you are where you are supposed to be. Sometimes those difficulties are just tests to know if you're worthy. And if you are accepting of the little difficulties, then what's for you will be given to you.
wow. Oh, of course, I'm worthy, charot. Um, these are the words that I
Of
want to
course you
tell
are.
myself right
I
now.
agree. So, meron
Oo.
siyang dalawang perspective na parehong
Mm-mm.
pantay na tinitignan na parang
Mm-mm.
pwede kang mag-give up, you can move on, but also you are allowed to stay if you think it's
Mm-mm.
worth it. So, ganun siya
Yeah.
yung aking
It's
itong
very
librong 'to.
helpful. Ayan. So, kita nyo naman, you can get the gist of this book, Calmness, How to Create Your Calm Amidst Chaos. So, hindi lang siya basta like literally the word calmness. It goes beyond like waiting for something. For example, yung kaninang mention ni Herbel. So, it's only 150 pesos. It's cheap and madali lang yan. It will really help you so darating the new year. If you have year's resolution, I think this is a very good tool to have na something to keep by your side. And ano ba to, Herbal? Will there be like 30 entries there or?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
30 entries, um, 31st yung introduction. So
Mm-mm.
meron kang babasahin once a day. Parang
Mm-mm.
ano siya, Bible, parang babasahin mo siya once a day na parang ngayong araw ito babasahin ko, sa susunod ito yung babasahin ko. Ano siya eh, ang gusto ko talaga, companion siya talaga, Cindy, na
Mm-mm.
na hindi siya yung iko-consume mo, pwede mo siyang i-consume once ng isang beses, pero
Mm-mm.
pwede po siyang paulit-ulit tapos paisa-isa. Yung paisa-isa sa susunod na araw iba naman.
Mm-mm.
Parang meron kang gabay,
Pwede rin
meron
balikan.
kang puwedeng balik-balikan, meron kang daily reminder din kapag nakalimutan mo na mahalin yung sarili mo. So, sinulat ko 'to para sa ibang tao, pero sinulat ko rin 'to para sa sarili ko kasi nakakalimutan ko rin minsang mahalin ang sarili ko. So,
Oo. I
iyon.
feel, oo, I feel na kanina minention mo yung age mo. Pero sa tingin ko, ito yung mga age talaga na nandoon ka sa point na, you're mature, but then at the same time, you need daily reminders na magpapaalala sa'yo na, hey, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. Just continue working on it, etc., etc. So that is calmness. So guys, it's only 150 pesos. Let's go naman dun sa pangalawang mong book. It's entitled Fragments and Narratives, and this time around, this is something different because it's a collection of memoirs. Hindi na ito yung updated cover, but it's something similar to this. Also minimalist. So, eto naman, Herbal, what's the theme of the essays and the memoirs?
Okay. So ito naman, teka, para dito gusto kong actually ano 'to, eh, parang yung iba dito, new poems, pero yung iba rito mga sinulat ko nung bata pa ako, nung
Mm.
bata pa ako, not exactly bata, nung teenagers pa ako.
Oo.
Kasi noon it's a different writing landscape nung kabataan natin, Cindy.
Mm-mm.
Medyo mahirap pumasok. So, um, parang noon akala ko walang mapupuntahan yung pagsusulat ko or kumbaga nagsusulat lang ako pero hindi ko talaga nakikita na magiging libro siya. So ang hirap
Mm-mm.
maging manunulat nung
Mm-mm.
kabataan natin.
Totoo,
Kasi
totoo.
yung mga big time writers lang yung nabibigyan ng pagkakataon at napakahirap pumasok sa mga mga big time na mga
Mm-mm.
publishing houses, ganyan.
Mm-mm.
So dati, feeling ko walang kararatingan yung pagsusulat ko, pero dahil isa akong rebellious na bata, ah, pinagpatuloy ko at tinago ko yung mga sinulat ko ng mga essays. Tapos, ngayon na parang nagta-thrive na yung Philippine landscape kasi ang dami nang nagbubukas. Like, Eight Letters is very innovative. Yung sustainable publishing industry nandyan. Nakikita ko yung vision mo na it's going to be something na ang aim talaga is longevity eh.
Mm-mm.
Uh, Hahanapin yung readers, magpa-publish, uh, magpo-produce based on the demand. And
Mm-mm.
now, because of the innovation, sobrang yung mga katulad ko na mga nagsusulat noon-noon pa, nabigyan ng parang, pwede maging panghabang buhay na career talaga ang writing. So some of these stories and memoir, some of these I've written when I was still in college. So I studied in Ateneo de Manila University. So yung iba dito, makikita ninyo ang context niya, ang kinikwento niya na lugar, kung familiar kayo sa Katipunan, tungkol siya sa Katipunan, pero ano rin ito siya, nag-grow rin ito kasi yung iba ay old essays, pero yung iba, kumbaga yung ibang essay naman nagre-reflect nung mga pinagdaanan ko sa buhay habang tumatanda ako. So, in the introduction, allow me to read the introduction of this
Mm-mm.
one.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
fragments and narratives. For me, writing has always been a story of rebellion. In a world that deems writing as a privilege, I persevere. In a society where I am obligated to be up and about, I fight for my right to be alone, to write, to create. It's a passion that burns continuously, steadily, and intensely. 20 years. I have been writing for the past 20 years. Most of the memoirs I've written have been lost, never preserved, only ever meant to stay fleetingly. Back then, I thought there's never a future to whatever it was that I'm doing. Yet, some of the memoir have lived on, packed in between pages I managed to salvage. These memoirs have been alive for 2 decades, preserving within them the youth that once inked those words. Some of the newest narratives have been published in the online publication, in the other on Transit Dialogue. They mirror the upheaval and changes in my world, somehow becoming a repository of both love and fears, joy and doubts. Our lives are made up of fragments and narratives, stories of ups and downs. I hope that within my fragments, you see a part of you. I hope my stories resonate with you. And again, I want to address my reader very clearly. I want to thank them for being here because to write, we shall continue. You see, why did I continue to write? Because there are people who told me to continue to write. Ganito kasi yung writing, hindi siya yung pangmadalian. Very rare lang yung pangmadalian naging overnight sensation ka. Pero most of the mga manunulat talaga, ang nangyari is nag-persevere talaga sila. Yung mga sinulat nila parang sila, na it refuses to disappear. So, nandun
Mm-mm.
siya sa Google Drive ko
Mm-mm.
and ngayon isinulat ko, kinolekta ko, at pinagsama-sama ko sa libro. So parang ano siya naging ang saya lang kasi who I was then is very different from who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
But that person who lived, that person who experienced that emotion is alive, immortal in those pages.
Wow, that's so beautiful, Herbal. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yun nga rin sana yung gusto kong itanong next, no, na you wrote these entries when you were back in college, and then ngayon, we're in our mid-30s. Upon looking at it, na-revise mo ba? Nagbago ba yung pananaw mo? Was there a part of you na You don't think the same way anymore.
Siguro, I probably ni-revise ko yung grammar, that's for sure. But then I still kept my old author voice. That's one thing with me. I wanna keep the authentic author voice. Um, Definitely nagbago yung pananaw. Siguro naging broad. Sometimes also nag-iba. Like for example, there's one entry here that I would like to share. At the very end, it's about. Let me just look for it. Uh, when I was, this one is about writing about Facebook memory and a memory of a lost love. Because definitely, this is an old love. So, hindi ko na siya mahal sa ngayon. Kumbaga, pareho na kaming malayo. Hindi na namin kilala ang isa't isa. But I was just amazed na when I was at the time when I was in love with this person, this is the kind of ano ba? This is the kind of memoir that I've written. Let me look for that and let me share it with everyone. Just give me a moment.
Yes. So, ayan, habang hinahanap ni Herbel, I want to take this chance to invite you guys to make sure that you get a copy. It's now available on our website. You can pre-order the book for only 160 pesos. Ayan. So, for only 160 pesos, just go onto our web, onto our shop. Makikita mo dyan, 8lettersbooks.com/shop, and just type in Herbel and you can find all four books by Herbel Santiago. Okay, we're ready, Herbel.
Yes, this one is Memories of Lost Love. So, Memories of Lost Love. A decade ago, Facebook Notes was a part and parcel of the Facebook experience. It was that little space where we used to tag our friends for random challenges. More than that, it was a modern journal where we write our thoughts and reflections. That Facebook exists simultaneously in both public and private spaces is what we were betting on. There, we freely wrote emotions we were too fearful to say yet, because we knew that somehow the people who we want to read our thoughts will read it. But times have changed. Now, Facebook Notes is no more. It is no longer among the features of Facebook. In order to excavate Facebook Notes, one had to go through the process of requesting for data from the Meta company. Excavating my Facebook notes is like digging through my personal history. In pages of those digital notes, I see the scribblings of feelings. Back when I was writing them, those feelings were pure and raw. Now those feelings no longer exist. Even the person to whom those words were addressed to no longer hold the same position as they once did. Yet the letters remain. And in those letters, the feelings remain, immortalized forever. And here is what I have written. And yet I do nothing because I am caught by surprise. Written on September 30, 2010, 11:26:22 a.m. There's a timestamp.
Hmm.
This was written 2010. Imagine that. Okay, here
Uh,
is the the poetry, like the
mm,
prose. As my temple pounds, I feel the throbbing of the nerve endings that are difficult to bury into oblivion. The little pain throbs. It hits again and again. This is not the unbearable, excruciating pain that makes you go pop a medicine and get rid of the pain entirely. This is the small pain, subtle enough to be noticed, but not too powerful. The perfect amount of pressure, the almost unassuming quality, lending the subject helpless. It attacks the senses unknowingly. The moment you realize its presence, the situation is beyond hope. I, the conscious owner of that body, never has been able to subdue it. And yet I do nothing because I am caught by surprise. It is a perfect afternoon, or as perfect as it could be. I have just gotten off the jeepney, waved my goodbye to a friend. Walking, I confront a scene so familiar it no longer holds the mystery it once had. Even the blind singer who begs for a living at the Katipunan overpass seems to have lost his appeal. The melody of the rustic song over a yet more rustic beating of the guitar merits but a few centavos. I doubt people give alms because they are moved to his song. They are moved by their own selfish reasons, as I have been when I let loose the 5 peso coin in his backs. It gives him a sound, faint. To me, it is nothing. To him, it is everything. To my desensitized existence, walking is but a mere task. I met them who frown, he who smiles, she who laughs. I walk with them, talk with them, laugh with them. To him, I am a nobody. To me, so is he. Until the persona that is I started being drawn to him. The treacherous eyes started beseeching him. He talks, and my traitor ears listen, until his presence brought a difficulty of breathing. I gasped, never realizing what hit me. There is nothing monumental about that relationship, nothing forced, nothing unnatural. But it sneaks right at me, gnaws at me, and swamps me. And I no longer can deny. And yet, I do nothing because I am caught by surprise. I continued walking with the even gray sky as the bleak backdrop. With no warning, the heaven dumps its whole self, crying restlessly, its hard raindrops beating on the unsuspecting victim. The Gatsy wind are sighs of lamentations that send shivers down my marrow. My dread clothes sighs as I shiver, water running from head to toe. The cold zipped into my very senses, mingling with the throbbing pain. At last, I had no excuse to be dense no more. And yet I do nothing because I am caught by surprise.
Wow! Round of applause naman dyan sa mga audience natin na nanonood ngayon. Grabe ha, grabe Herbel. I am caught by surprise. Na-surprise ako sa binasa mo. And I feel that the audience are feeling the same way right now. And when you were reading that, when you were reading that essay, parang feeling ko nandoon na rin ako sa mismong lugar. I feel like I'm in your shoes, feeling that pain, feeling yung seeing what you're seeing, and it's very visual. Visual, and at the same time the emotions are described um the best way na nararamdaman ko siya like right now. I can totally relate doon sa sakit ng sa the throbbing pain, like oh my god, a few days ago I was just feeling that. But yeah, you described it perfectly. Thank you so much for that reading, Herbel. That's so inspiring. Di ba? That's so inspiring. um yun nga, so bakit nga ba nawala? Bakit nga ba tinanggal ng Facebook yung notes? So, ngayon ko lang na-realize na marami din akong sinulat doon. Oh my God. So,
Totoo.
oo, ayan. So, para sa mga millennials natin dyan, na feeling sentimental doon sa mga bagay-bagay na yon, katipunan, Facebook notes, and all that, I feel na these fragments and narratives is for you. Herbal, you're such a professional. That's all I can say. Professional ka. Alam mo na kung anong mga dapat gawin from from branding as an author, pati yung pagbabasa, expressing. Kasi writing is one thing, but then you also have to market yourself. You also have to basically sell yourself. And you're doing that. You're doing that perfectly. Again, perfectly. Galing Teacher Herbel.
Thank
Ayan.
you.
Thank you. Ayan. So Herbal, saan ka ba namin pwedeng ma-follow? Kasi napapansin ko, you're so active sa Instagram, sa TikTok. Where can we find you sa mga audience natin na nanonood ngayon?
Ako ay nasa digital space ngayon. Wala ako sa Pilipinas. So,
Yes.
meron kasi ako dalawang account. The first one is, again, ang goal talaga siya, Cindy, is longevity talaga. Hindi siya yung alam, kumbaga longevity, pangmatagalan. So, meron akong writing account. So, 𝓕𝓻 Santiago_writer. Oh, thank you. Salamat. Nabasa ko yung sorry, na-distract ako, nabasa ako. Thank you so much. So my first one is @Herbal_Santiago_writer, sa Facebook, sa TikTok, sa Instagram. So nandun ako, @Herbal_Santiago_writer. That's my writing account. The other is my teaching account. My teaching account is Teacher Herbal, Teacher Herbal Santiago. So Teacher Herbal Santiago naman, ito naman, dahil isa rin ako talagang English language and literature teacher, so yun naman medyo focus sa teaching. So English grammar, literary devices, poetic devices. So if you want to know about that, pero iba kasi yung function nun. Yun ay para talaga sa mga estudyante ko at sa mga estudyante na gustong matuto tungkol sa grammar, tungkol sa English, poetic, and literary devices. So yun yung account ko. So Teacher Herbal Santiago for my teaching account. The second is Herbal_Santiago_writer for my writing account. I'm in Facebook, I'm in Instagram, I'm also in TikTok. Meron din ako sa YouTube, Herbal Santiago. So that's my social media channels.
There. Thank you. Please follow Teacher Herbel in all of our social media accounts. And I'm sure marami kayong matututunan dyan. So thank you so much, Teacher Herbel. And looking forward naman to your next book, 2024. Ayan.
Yes, meron akong
Yes.
sinusulat ngayon. Kaso dahil nga busy sa paggagawa ng mga pa-end na kasi yung first semester. So katatapos
Mm-mm.
lang ng exam ng mga bata. So nag-check ako ng mga paper. But I'm writing I'm writing a fantasy novel right now, Cindy. Uh,
Wow. Hindi na
Nasa
minimalist yung cover
kalagitnaan siya
niyan.
ng pagsusulat for some reason. Yes, yes, it's based on
Mm-mm.
Filipino mythological characters. So, that one medyo nahihirapan ako. Sobrang tagal ko nang sinusulat yun. But that one is, paparating na siya, Cindy. So, I'm sure, isasubmit ko rin. Tingnan, isasubmit ko sa
Yay!
eight letters.
So
And hopefully,
exciting.
yeah. So,
Mm-mm.
ang title nun is Sapira at ang Aliping Itinakda. Hindi pa, hindi kasi ako, nasulat ko na siya, yung first draft niya, pero hindi ako naging satisfied dun sa first ending ko. So,
Mm-mm.
inaayos ko siya. So, ganun ako, Cindy. So, medyo may
Mm-mm.
pagka-perfectionist ako sa sarili kong gawa.
Nako,
Gusto ko
dapat
yung,
naman talaga. Oo. Kasi,
yes,
oo, when you publish, kailangan, lalo na teacher, teacher, teacher Herbel. So,
yeah.
oo.
Pero alam mo, even though
Mm-mm.
may pagka-perfectionist ako, medyo inaalaw ko yung mga, ano bang tawag doon? Yung human nuances.
Mm-mm.
So, like for example, sabi ko 'di ba, na parang gusto ko i-retain yung author voice ko. Kasi napakaganda
Mm-mm.
rin pala na yung pagsusulat is hindi siya yung sobrang linis na
Oo
ChatGPT kind of
naman.
linis.
Oo.
Kailangan meron pa rin siyang touch of humanness.
Oo.
So,
Pag nababasa ko naman yung mga gawa mo, I can definitely hear your other voice. Kahit
my
saan.
voice,
Oo.
my authentic
Your
human voice.
authenticity. Exactly. Ayun.
Yes,
And
yes.
you're very successful with that. So, ayun. I think that's one thing to learn din para sa mga nanonood sa atin yan and also like the aspiring writers. I think it's very important to keep the authenticity in their other voices. And sometimes, ano yun eh, nawawala kasi yun. Lalo
Totoo,
na
totoo.
nakakatanggap kami ng napakaraming manuscripts and then I feel that, oh, bakit ganito? Parang hindi na siya to.
Kapareho.
Oo,
Haha.
magkakapareho na. So, yeah, something to learn, something to learn. And okay lang naman. You can still improve on that if ever
Correct,
na ginagawa mo
correct.
tong mistake na to. Yan. Thank you so much, Teacher Herbel. And yes, see you again, I guess, for sa 2024.
See you. And
See you!
hopefully next time 'pag nasa Pilipinas na ako,
Mm-mm.
mag-a-attend ako definitely physical ng
Yes.
sa mga events and kita tayo and yeah. Thank you,
Sige.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone, and happy weekend.
Happy weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.